Hi everybody, so we are back. Again, I've been missing for a couple of weeks. I know that I always say that I won't be missing again, and I always end up making it, but I think you have to forgive me this time because it's been Christmas and holidays, and well, everybody is extremely busy, but I'm back and I'm currently playing a tournament, a Christmas tournament in Valencia, Spain, in the city where I live. And this is game number 1. We're gonna do the classic recaps for all the round, and I hope you guys enjoy it, so let's go and watch it. This game was against a girl that is from my club. She's a really nice girl, she's an amazing chess player. She's been a Spanish national champion under 12, under 14 in many tournaments like teammates tournaments and dual tournaments and etc. She's so strong and I think she has a brilliant future on her career. I was playing white pieces and I started the game with d4. I actually didn't know what I was facing, but well, she replied with d5. I played queen's gambit, c4, and then she replied with c6, which is the slave defense. So I continued with the e3 line, just a fast development for my pieces, and then she continued with knight. I continued with the knight, and then she came with the bishops. So here I just didn't want it to get into any complex situation, and I just decided to do knight f3, e6, and I offered for a trade of bishops. So when I offered for a trade, she stopped thinking a few minutes, and after this thinking process, she decided to take my bishop. I think wasn't the best idea because she should have maintained the tension over here and, well, fight for the diagonal. But if she takes and then I take, her position is very closed and the person that has the activity is white, in this case me. I'm looking towards her castling and, well, I don't think this is very positive for black, to be honest. After this, she took the next pawn, and here I felt really comfortable with my position because when I take back, nobody can stop me from taking the whole center. So she came knight d7 and I just took the center. I was thinking on castling first, but then I said what's the problem with taking the center? She's not threatening anything that can be dangerous for my king. So I just took the center and then she came and attacked my knight and I came back to e2, which is the best move, and then she played c5, which was kind of inaccurate. So here I was thinking many moves, I considered d5, I considered e5 intermediate, I considered take, I considered a bishop f4, planning to come knight b5 and knight c7. We're going to go move by move and then I'm going to tell you my decision so you will understand how did I figure what to do. If I push, which was one of my first considerations, she can just take back, and when I take back, she covers on e7. I don't have any possibility to increase the pressure over the pin. After, she's gonna do castling, and then I have no way to protect my pawn. I'm gonna lose a pawn. And do you remember my strength? It would be literally giving up to my strength by myself. She didn't even do anything to force me to, so that doesn't work. What about this one? Well, this one doesn't work as well because she can just go in the middle, and this is what I always say to my students about the center of the board. When you have the center, you need to be very careful when you are going to push the pawns, because any push you do is gonna create a weakness. In most of the cases, of course, if you have a bigger center with both pawns on the side, maybe another pawn on z, this is controlled. But most of the time when you only have the middle pawns, when you push one, you need to be very careful because otherwise you can be letting your opponent to fix her pieces or his pieces. So this doesn't work as well. Taking, of course, is not the best, but it was really good. I was about to consider that because then I can come with bishop g5. I'm pinning, I'm threatening this, so she needs to waste a tempo protecting the pin. Then I can come with the rook, and well, I'm pretty good on this position. The best was just to maintain the center and to think in the future. If I do bishop e3, I'm threatening to take the pawn for free, so she has to take. And when she takes, I take back and my bishop is perfect here. She can't come and control the center, which is something you need to have controlled before making this kind of moves, because if she would have had the possibility to push e5, that'd be awful for me. Of course she can't, because I'm gonna take it back, but that's something we need to have in mind. So after I have a really strong bishop, and then she came with bishop e7 and I came with rook d1. Even though the engine says this is a mistake, it is a mistake because there are better things to do in this position. Like, it is not like an actual mistake, it is just there are things that can be more beneficial to me. And of course, the best one is castling, like long castling. The rook is in the same spot, but my king is now safe and I can go after to b1. I have all ready to start my attack on the king side, and yeah. I wouldn't say that I considered castling, I just dismissed this option because I thought it was not good and I just did the safest. Then she came with queen b7, and here I think that was like the blunder on her position because knight b5 is coming and many threats are going on. She has to decide where is she going to go, but she can't like go to the d file because my rook is there, so a discovery is going to come if she comes here. For example, knight bishop takes on knight f6, so she can't go there. But what if she goes here, for example, queen c6? If she goes queen c6, my other knight is gonna come into the action and she's gonna be in trouble. What she did was the intermediate check, and here I considered this move, but it doesn't work because she has queen e7 and she protects the bishop, and yeah, she's safe. This would have worked if her only option would have been bishop takes bishop. Then it works because pawn takes, her queen is under attack, and the knight is gonna come and check. She can't stop the check because her queen is under attack. But I figured that if I move my king, the only safe spot for her queen is e7, and the bishop is stuck. And I trapped the bishop. Bishop c4, and then I took the knight. If she takes the queen, the fork is coming on the rook and the king, and if she takes with the pawn as she did, b4, and the bishop is trapped. She went with castle, I took the bishop, she took back, and of course here I know that many players would have been wondering like what to do. I've heard many times from many of my students that they just mess up positions with advantage. Here I have an extra piece which, well, makes it like way easier to convert, but in this position we need to be careful because even though we have an extra piece, if I start playing without a plan and my opponent start creating a plan, probably the things are gonna get complex. Here my biggest situation, like before even thinking on attacking or simplification, I need to be worried about my king, like not worry, but I need to take care of him. So c3, artificial castle, and then my rooks are connected. She came here, I came with king g2, and she came knight c4, and here there is a forced line to trade all the pieces, which is going to make the win easier. Takes, and then rook c1. Okay, after rook c1, this discovery is not working because even though my rook is hanging, when my queen takes, my queen is now protecting my rook and I'm safe. If instead she would have done this, I have knight d6. If she comes with the same, I take the knight, and if she takes my rook, I take her rook, and like extreme simplification, which is gonna make the game like way easier for me. So what she did here was to take my knight. She came here. Here I had a very good line which I didn't see, which was e5. The knight's controlling the pawn, so the queen can't take. She has to take the pawn, and then I come with g4, queen g4 check. And yeah, her king kind of sucks. Like she would have come here, and here currently the engine is checkmating 18 moves, but I think simply queen here is enough because queen f6 coming. I missed the e5. Of course, I wasn't running out of time, but I was in this kind of situation that I was thinking, okay, I want to get the most time that I possibly can have towards the end game. So yeah, I just didn't want to make things more complicated than it would have been. So I just offered the trade, we trade, and then we started the end game. And then we get into this position, which was very funny because after I took the pawn, of course, the best for her is to take back, but she pushed. And when she pushed, I'm gonna keep my pawn for sure, my passed pawn, because there is no way for her pawn to progress. My knight comes to c2, protecting my pawn, threatening hers. Her pawn pushes, my rook controls everything. Her only move to protect is this, and then my king is gonna come across, and nobody can stop him from coming. So then I arrived, I took the pawn for free, and then she came here, and then I figured a very nice way for my pawn to progress. I gave up the f2 pawn, but it doesn't matter because my pawn is so strong. She came back to b2, and then I found rook c7. So rook c7 is just blocking this file, is about to support my pawn, and is at the same threatening rook c2 and forcing trade. She didn't notice the forcing trade, and well, actually she couldn't do anything here. Like if she wants to avoid the trade, she has to leave and if she leaves, my pawn is going to promote, so there is no way to stop it. And well, then I started pushing my pawn, and after h5, king here, and well, knight mate in the next move. So she resigned, is forcing mate. Here, of course, there are many ways to win, like I could have pushed, and then I could have checked, and then I could have promote, but why would I spend like 20 moves in a game that can be done in only 2 moves? So yeah, guys, this was how the game ended. The accuracy on this game for myself is pretty high. Some platforms even gave me 98%, so I'm pretty happy. And I'll see you in the recap of round number 2. Bye, guys!